It's a chilly day here on the farm. It's supposed to rain this morning. So I thought it was a perfect day to make soup. What day isn't a perfect day to make soup? Today we're going to be making a favorite of mine called cheesy wild rice soup. This is a soup that used to be like a fancy soup when we were little. We'd only make it on special occasions, probably because the ingredients were super expensive. Maybe they are still expensive. What isn't expensive right now? It required us to buy ingredients we don't normally buy, like half and half or Velveeta. I am doing an experiment with this recipe that will use something other than Velveeta, because I know some of you all... This is Ted. Ted's a great cat, but he's not a cuddly cat. But he keeps bumping my camera. Hi, Ted. So if you're someone who doesn't like the concept of Velveeta, Ted, honestly. I'm also going to try doing this with melting some cheddar cheese and some cream cheese, probably, to see if I can get the same consistency as we're looking for. So stay tuned. Ted! Now, I've got some time this morning, so I'm actually going to put a little bit of the soup together this morning, so then I can put it together quicker tonight when we're actually going to eat this. So I'm going to start by making the wild rice and also frying up the bacon and onion, because apparently bacon and onion is how I start every soup that I make. You can get wild rice like this, obviously. You can also get wild rice that is pre-cooked. I have used both. I'm going to do it with not pre-cooked. What do we call this? I don't even know.
Take half a pound of wild rice and put a little bit of butter, bring it to a boil. Then you're going to cover it and let it boil for 30 minutes. After it's boiled 30 minutes, remove it from the heat and let it sit another 30 minutes. 1 cup of dry wild rice is going to net you 4 cups of cooked wild rice, so keep that in mind.
Let's put this soup together, shall we? So here's the ingredients. We have the bacon and the onions. We have the wild rice. We're gonna need some cream of potato soup. We're gonna need some half and half. We're gonna need some milk. We're gonna need some Velveeta type cheese, or we're also gonna try cheddar cheese and cream cheese. We're gonna try that. I don't know how it's gonna work. You're gonna find out the same time that I do. So here we go.
So we've already got our bacon and our onions, and we've already got our wild rice ready. So add that to the pot, stir it up. Then we're gonna add 3 cans of cream of potato soup. Stir it up a little bit. Then we are going to fill those empty cans of soup half full with milk. The theory here is that then we're going to swirl them around so we can clean out what's left in the can, and then we're going to pour all that milk into the soup. Stir it up. And now we're going to add a whole quart of half and half. Yep, a whole quart. Give her a little stir.
Now you can see at this point I've actually divided the soup into 2 different pots here, because I want to do this little experiment with the different kinds of cheeses. You're also probably wondering why I am using this burner right here when it's not the right size for this pot. And you're wondering why I don't have it on that burner back there. That's because that burner is possessed. And sometimes it gets really hot for no reason. So we're definitely not going to make a cream-based soup on that burner. So we are just going to let these soups heat. Again, because it is a cream-based soup, you want to do this slowly, otherwise you're going to scorch the bottom and you're going to be very, very sad. So I'm going to heat these up very, very slowly. And once they are warm, we're going to try this whole comparing the cheeses thing. So obviously the original recipe is all the soup together and then 1 pound of pasteurized cheese product. So for this experiment, we're gonna do half a pound of pasteurized cheese product in one of the pots. And then in the other pot, we're going to do half a pound of shredded cheddar, not the pre-shredded stuff, shred it yourself. And then we're gonna add a little bit of cream cheese. I think like half a brick to like 4 ounces of cream cheese. So we're gonna see what happens here. All right, so pasteurized cheese product going in this one. Now stir that up. That's gonna take a little while to melt. This is a slow soup to make. Don't want it to get too hot and burn and scorch, because then we are sad. Over here on this side, we are going to use the same amount of shredded cheddar and then some cream cheese. Because as one of my cooking friends told me, the cream cheese will add depth to the cheddar. I'm gonna stir that up and see how it melts. All right, after much slow heating and stirring and heating and stirring, I think they are both finally done. So I've got to tell you something. When I was little, I was told the reason that we used pasteurized cheese product is because real cheese won't melt. It doesn't melt as nicely as pasteurized cheese product. I can tell you for a fact right now, that is not true. It may be harder to melt cheese that is pre-shredded, because I know they put stuff on it to keep the little shreds separate, so that may inhibit a little bit of the melting, but I had no problem at all melting this cheese, and it looks absolutely delicious. So now we're gonna do a little taste test. I have my very, very technical experiment set up here. We have the original recipe, which is pasteurized cheese product, and this is the new one that we're trying. Original. All right. They look pretty much the same. I don't know if this is really showing up on camera, but this is a little bit more yellow than this one is. But this does feel a little thicker as well, but that may be because I added a lot of cream cheese. Also, it is not time for supper right now. This soup actually got done faster than I thought it was going to be, and nobody's down here for supper yet, so I am sneaking this taste test. Don't tell anybody. All right. Ooh, I almost spilled it there. So here is the original. That tastes like Christmas Eve. That is so good. And my camera doesn't want to focus right now, but just believe me, this is super good. Now we're gonna try the shredded cheddar and cream cheese version, which is super thick. Definitely a different taste. Still delicious, but I feel like there's way more sugar in the other one. It tastes sweeter, so I'm guessing there's sugar in the pasteurized cheese product. But this is delicious and it's thick. And if you don't want to use the weird brick of cheese that kind of jiggles around, y'all, so delicious. I literally just licked the bowl. You can do that, it's fine. I think I should really go outside and ask Ted what his opinion is on the two soups. What do you think?